Welcome in, CGL fans, to a Sunday night bout between the Virtus Pronouns and the EIG Assassins in the NA Diamond tier. A date with the Zebras in the lower bracket finals is up for grabs for the winner of this series. To guide you through this dramatic showdown, it's HD Philly B, and with me is the CGL caster corraller, Tried Hard Ray. My friend, every match that EIG has been in has gone all 5 maps. Do you think we'll go the distance again today?
I think it's their destiny. It's just been that even when they played each other in the regular season, these two teams, they went to 5 maps. So I think this game just has destiny, 5-mapper, banger written all over it. So very excited to see how this is going to go, as both teams have also changed quite a bit roster-wise since that initial matchup, and that makes things that much more interesting.
I love it. So folks, tune in and hold on to your seats for this epic match. We have a couple of other epic matches for you across the league. Of course, you're tuning in on CGL 3, but we have CGL 1 and 2 with other matches going. So let's bring up the schedule and see where we're at. I mean, Ray, we've got Agave, Goffro, and Astrium going on right now. And I mean, that one has been electric so far.
Yeah, and that one's a grand final, and it's Latin America, so it's being dual casted in Portuguese and in English. CGL 1 for the English, CGL 2 for the Portuguese broadcast, so you're not going to want to miss that banger of a grand final going on right now.
Fair enough. Well, let's take a look at our journey here, Ray, because this bracket has had everything. It's been so electric from start to finish. But we find ourselves in the losers round 3, so that's basically our losers semifinal. They move on to the losers final against the Zebras, and then a date with Drop the Guns, who haven't dropped a map, I feel like, in ages. They're going to be a tough group to beat.
Yeah, I think the Diamond tier has been quite a fun bracket. It's a lot of everyone knows each other. It's been a tight-knit community. So I'm sure we're going to have a lively Twitch chat as well, as it was advertised in the Diamond chat that this game will be streamed. So I'm excited to see who all turns up in chat, and hopefully we get a good crowd going.
Heck yeah. Well, let's go, chat. Tell me who you are rooting for in this semifinal lower bracket round. I mean, I've casted the Assassins before, Ray, and I know you've casted all of these teams, but Mad Bucks is someone that I'm looking out for the Assassins. That player on the Venture, it's too scary to even think about it. It's just way too good.
Yeah, I know a lot of these teams very well, given I'm in Diamond tier, so I'm very, very excited to be able to provide as much information as possible for both of these teams. And I'm excited. Virtus Pronouns, they've been the number 2 seed for pretty much most of the season. They've kind of been that, the team right after Drop the Guns. So I can't wait to see if they're going to, continue to prove that they're the number 2 seed. Because the only reason they dropped into the lower bracket was because they couldn't get their players in on time and had to forfeit, unfortunately. So they're on a tear right now, trying to revenge game everyone on their way to the grand finals.
Okay, all right. Setting the stage well, Ray. I appreciate that. And I want to know what stage we're going to. It will be Control first, obviously, but I believe Virtus Pronouns will have the pick of which Control map we go to, since they are the higher seed. Ray, is there Lijon Tower is everybody's favorite, but do you think Virtus Pronouns, do they switch it up to something else?
In all of their matches so far, if I'm remembering correctly, they had picked Lijon Tower. They feel pretty comfortable there. I think they also know that if they make it to grand finals, Drop the Guns always picks Lijon Tower. So I think they are trying to get used to that fact as well. But it's also a very comfortable map for them. They're able to play their Virtus Pronouns with Misery, and they love to play their Winston/Diva Dive. So it's a map where they can play it pretty well. And it allows Bandit, who's a very good hit scan player, but especially on the Emery, it's a really good Emery map.
Well, Hippie, our production master, let's bring up the maps and see what we got. And Ray, your crystal ball is shining bright. To Lijon Tower we go. I mean, Night Market, Gardens, Control Center, all of them, they're very good for basically anything that you want to play. Brawl, Poke, Hybrid, whatever. I mean, this is a map for everybody. And I think this is a good tempo set for both of these teams, Ray, right? You can decide how you really want to set the stage here. Do they go for the Venture ban first, the Virtus Pronouns? I feel like they should on this Control to get themselves to an early lead.
I think that's a big question, because, sure, Venture is good on Lijon Tower, but it's not like the quintessential Venture map.
Sure.
I can think of a lot of maps going forward in this series where Venture is going to be extremely strong on that Assassins could bring them to. So do you want to burn such a crucial ban so quickly or save it for later?
Fair enough, and that's why I love the addition of the ban phase to Overwatch, because it adds that extra layer of strategy to the game. And so, okay, do we save this adventure for later, or do we do it now and maybe just get a map win and make sure we ensure that? But that's also a testament to Madbucks and just how good they are on that character. Virtus Pronouns taking all the time in the world to select the character, and it will be the Zarya eliminated in this one.
Which to me, that isn't a whole lot of shocking either. Muschetti, their tank for Assassins, very well known Zarya player, definitely flexible and can play other things, but Zarya is one of their best heroes. And on a map like Lijiang Tower where Brawl is king, everyone knows Lijiang Tower for the most part is a Brawl map. I think getting rid of the Zarya is going to be a very smart selection from the side of Virtus Pronouns. The question is, where do the Assassins go? I'd possibly be looking to ban the Emery here just because Lijiang Tower is a very good Emery map, but also, we've seen in the Diamond tier specifically, just throughout the playoffs and regular season, Curie has just been a really strong band in general. So I'm curious which direction they're going to go in.
Curie seems to be a staple, right? I think it's in the CGL rules. Shadowfang told me about that that Kiriko has to be banned at least once. But what about this Jetpack Cat Bastion combination? Are we seeing that in the Diamond tier? We'll have to get to that later, as it will be the Pharah plucked from the skies, so no Egyptian in this one.
Which is interesting because, you can see Pharah on this map. I mean, it's almost, most teams will play it on Gardens specifically. Yeah. And then Night Market is, if you're feeling good on the Pharah, you'll continue to play it on that map. But it's not like a guarantee a team's going to play it. I do know that Seoul has the ability to play the Pharah, but they also haven't been playing as much Pharah as they normally would. So I think it's just we don't want to deal with this kind of ban because there's a possibility Seoul might play it.
Makes sense to me. So we have our bans, but let's see who we have in terms of the rosters. The Virtus Pronouns, as you mentioned, had some roster switches throughout the season, so I'll be interested to see who they have or who they're bringing into this one. So let's pull those up and see who we have stacking up against whom. I know Muschette will be in there for the Assassins, and it looks like Misery will be the tank on the other side, but are there other matchups that you're looking for here, Ray? Other numbers that are going to go up against one another?
I will say for the side of Virtus Pronouns, their main roster change, as Minty has been playing a lot more over Ready Player Maddie. And then they have Fragster on their team as well, who they pulled up, who they were able to sign. This map, as we'll show you on screen, Misery will be playing because on a map like Lijiang Tower, they prefer their Winston Diva dive, but there will be maps where Taco comes in possibly to play, or Fragster comes in to play like a Sig or like a Ramatra of the such. But if it's a dive map, Misery is most definitely going to be in. And obviously the rest of their roster is pretty standard. Uray's always been there. Soul's always been there. Bandit's always been there. Minty has always been there. It's just Minty's been the main starter for a while now, but not like initially.
Makes sense. I do love dive. I think that's my favorite of the different compositions, if you will. So hopefully we see the scientist in the Winston out on the battlefield today. But now let's switch over to the Assassins and see what they bring to bear. We know that Madbucks and the Muschette will be on the field, but Starwolf, I had a chance to interview her last week. So lethal in that support role. She was taking 1v1s across the board, not scared for even an instant is that player.
Yeah, so for EIG Assassins, it's mostly been their second DPS who's kind of been up in the like been in constant flux and rotation. Madbucks and Muschetti and Starwolf and Spikey have always been there, and then they have the lady come in on certain maps. But they've had a rotating cast in, but Haywire has been the DPS with Madbucks for like the tail end of the regular season coming into playoffs. So they've had a lot of time to get used to this new lineup. But this lineup was definitely not what they had when they lost to Virtus Pronouns in 5 maps back in the regular season.
So we've got a truly an epic clash waiting for us with the history between these teams. I am so here for it. I mean, I'm loving a best of 5 on a Sunday night. Is going to be an epic one for sure. Now that we have our matchups, there's also a special feature that we have from our producer Hippie, and some of the players have allowed us to show their cams. So as we'll go through the match, as we pan to their players, and that is Mara, our observer, who'll be doing that, we'll get to see some of their player cams, see them sweating, see them talking, yapping in the mic, see them laughing there too, like haywire. I mean, I love this feature. Well done for the production crew.
Yeah, super sweet to be able to see this new feature being implemented, and hopefully eventually we'll see it where people feel comfortable and we start seeing all cameras, and then it makes things like super cool and unique, and just continuing to build upon unique stuff that sets CGL apart. And I'm just excited to get this first map started.
Oh, me too. I mean, I love how Control is kind of the staple way to get it started, because it's really just team deathmatch. Of course, there's strategy, it's a hero shooter, but really it's just like, let's run at each other, let's see who's got the best technical ability, the best ultimate usage, etc., and go from there. And that's just, I feel like, a fun way to start any match, let alone a semi-final lower bracket round with elimination on the line. I can't stress this enough. One of these teams will go home, their season done. Neither wants to be in that position. They have to start out well in Lijiang Tower. If we have the map ready, it looks like we're getting the R's in the chat. Let's send it down to China. Ray, I'm ready for this.
Yeah, I mean, this matchup is going to be, at least in my head, what I'm expecting is like Dive v Brawl. And I think what EIG needs to be able to do is limit Bandit's effectiveness. Not that the rest of Virtue's pronouns aren't good, they're very good, but Bandit is the one who carries them and gets a lot of these early picks. So if you can apply pressure on him and try and take him out of these fights early, you don't even have to kill him normally, just get him to back up and have to reposition, and then that gives you time to be able to focus down the rest of the team of Virtus pronouns and not allow Bandit to have another Bandit-like performance.
So Battle of the DPS is something that you'll be highlighting or looking at in a lot of these skirmishes, right? How are Mad Bucks and Bandit stacking up? And so that's one, viewers, that you should be looking at too, for sure. But then that leaves Soul and Haywire. If they play for the Tracer battle on the sides or whatever it may be, that's what we'll be spying there. So as we posture over the spawn room doors, we are seeing Bandit on that Emery. I know you were scared about that pick.
Yeah, Bandit on the Emery is a demon, so that's going to be one player to have to look out for. I do know this venture is very threatening. I know I had gotten conversations from Virtus pronouns. They were in master chat looking for teams to like simulate the venture against them. Yeah. So they're definitely they have definitely been trying to prepare for this venture. So let's see if any of that bared fruit.
And they might be preparing for death, as they make their way to the point. They are just littered with holes, the bullets flying at them. Misery looking for company there on the Winston. I'm glad to see she's on the Scientist. A little bit of a ring around the Rosie as there's time before the point will be captured. The Nemesis form popped early from Mushete. That's exactly the ability that you want to poke out early if you are the Virtus Pronouns Academy. And now the Wintus will dive in, but the Tracer won't be with them. Doesn't matter, as the Symmetra will be felled, but Misery with the double kill, the dive to perfection, and a tidal wave of blue in the kill feed.
Yeah, it's kind of exactly what you said. Able to force out that form early, as Mushete already going to get off of the Ramatra and go over to the Hazard, which I understand, trying to fight dive with dive. And they're going to have Haywire go over to the Reaper. So they're basically trying to say, Misery, we're trying to make your life a living hell.
100%. And Mushete on this Hazard gave the Emerald Eagles last weekend a hell of a problem. They just could not figure out how to take down the Scottish man. And so we'll see if the Virtus Pronouns Academy squad has had something different. But Soul taken out of the fight first. Again, the violent leap will do him in, and that's a double for Mushete, cutting through the battlefield. But they haven't flipped the point in their favor yet. Now they make their way to it.
Mendy's going to get that exiting pick onto Star Wolf. I would say that could be, a nice little angle for Virtus Pronouns to try and re-engage. But with the late pick onto Ure, Star Wolf will definitely get back in time. Bandit, however, has this override protocol already online. So I don't know if EIG Assassins is going to be ready for this. They don't have any ultimates to defend themselves from it.
Ray, I wasn't even ready for it until you called it out, so the virus could be taking hold at any moment. Pestering them from range is the bandit, looking to steal the point away from them, but the percentages continue to accrue, and now, as the dive comes through, so do the heavy blaster shots. The virus looking to infect the field, but everyone ducking for cover quite nicely. They do give up space on the point, however, and that gives Misery time to work, and Spiky Clouds will go 6 feet under, firmly in control of the point. A few more members to clean up, and they flip it.
Yeah, but Bandit's been taken down. It's a 2-for-1 change, so 1-person advantage for the set of EIG Assassins on point. Your Ray's going to go down, and you did flip the point of your Virtuous Predator, which is a big deal. Oh, you used the sound barrier there from Spiky Cloud. I think you were going to wish you held on to that, but they're able to flip this point and get back in control.
So, okay, so some tempered aggression, right? We'll give up space as you utilize your ultimates, and then when that's kind of petered out, we don't take too many losses, we'll re-aggress with our tools and flip it back in our favor, and I love that for them, but the sound barrier usage, I do not love. They already had cleaned up 3. That barrier, they need it in their back pocket. Fortunately, they have the Kitsune Rush, but double supports for the Virtus Pronouns Academy.
Yeah, but double DPS for the Assassins, so they can use one ult to try and force out others. Spiky Cloud's gonna go down, however, that's not the opening pick you wanted.
Okay, the sound barrier in response, and that's just kind of just to bully their way onto the point. The Kitsune Rush will try to stave off the advance, but the Tectonic Shock is now rocking. Will it find anybody and put him in the grave? It doesn't even matter, as the harpoons from the Venture will skewer the folks on the opposite side. Misery does claim 1, now pops the Primal Rage. What? Everybody had fallen around him. Now it's just an angry scientist on the point, just stalling for time, but for the other team, Feld is the Gorilla, and the percentage continues to accrue.
Yeah, as the Hazard downpour ult's gonna get used and force the recall of the Tracers, they're gonna get some people on point, but Minty's already down, and it's overtime to Wick burning.
Oh, the Death Blossom just to put the cherry on top. The overtime Wick will go down, and this Gardens will go the way of the Assassins. Or Night Market.
Yeah, I mean, I think Assassins made some really good adjustments, immediately going over the Hazard, getting the Reaper to put a lot of pressure onto Misery. Pause is now going to come in. But yeah, I mean, very good from both sides. I do think, there's been a couple of positioning problems. Like, Soul got taken out as the first kill on 2 of those fights early on. Tracer's can't be one of those heroes you're losing early on in the fight, because you'll lose all your backline pressure without your Tracer on that field.
For sure. And with Bandit doing so much work, like you said, they accrued that ultimate very quickly, which means they're peppering you the damage. You need the Tracer to clean people up. People who are low, okay, zip in there, blast them with a clip, and zip on out of there like nothing ever happened. But Soul getting their health bar chunked quite early in a lot of these matches. Well, the first submap will go for the Assassins, and it's on the back of Muchete, in my opinion. I mean, they just don't know how to handle the Hazard Ray. What did the Virtus Pronouns got to do?
I think against Hazard, especially if you're playing Winston, a lot of the time is going to be ignore the Hazard. Like, the Winston comp just doesn't put out enough damage to counteract like the block you have and the mobility to get away. I'd be trying to just go after these squishies. I know Reaper and Venture are kind of hard to go after, but some of these supports, I mean, Spiky Cloud, they're able to get them down kind of early in these fights. I'd continue targeting these supports as early and often as possible, and maybe even like a Haywire on the Reaper. If you can force out that Wraith early, maybe you can get a good pick onto them, because the Reaper's the one applying all the pressure on a Misery.
Do you think a call for a tank change? So instead of the Winston, maybe a different dive tank like the D.Va, the Wrecking Ball?
Yeah, Misery has the D.Va. I do think the D.Va's going to help in that Hazard matchup, just because, I mean, not even really the Hazard matchup. It's mostly the Reaper. You could DM a lot of that damage from the Reaper. The question is, I mean, I know they have been playing a lot of Winston on this map. We do see, I mean, we could see the pause screen. I could see Misery on the D.Va right now. So it wouldn't surprise me if they make that adaptation. Let's all admit it, people. D.Va is just better than Winston right now. I'm sorry to say it, but it's true.
He's my favorite tank, man. Why?
Winston is honest Overwatch. Everyone loves Winston, but D.Va is better right now. That's why everyone's been calling for D.Va nerfs.
That's very true. I feel like when I've been playing on the tank role, I haven't played Winston so long, because he's just so counterable, right? People just swap to Reaper, and it's really challenging, especially if you're not playing on comms like I am most of the time. However, Misery hovering over the Scientist for now. I would like the Diva better, but maybe after this first go-round, seeing what the Assassins bring into this, maybe they'll go back for a switch.
I'm curious to see if they go the sim on the point. You don't typically do that with the monkey. My guess is Soul will go the Tracer once again. They're going to go Echo. I kind of actually like that to give some extra burst damage, especially for some of these higher HP DPS like the Venture, like the Reaper. That's what we needed. That's what we're talking about. Get rid of that Reaper.
Wow, from range, the Echo sniping them, and Minty finishing the job. No! Go off the edge. Soul collapses.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, thank you, Mara, for capturing that shot as the Echo slowly falls to their death, and we are even in terms of numbers on the point, but the Reaper will get back a tad faster. Mad Bucks will send the Ure into an early grave, and now the point will go the way of the Assassins.
Looks like Misery is going to make a swap. They are going to go over to the Diva, which I do think is just going to be a lot more handy in dealing with the Reaper, and I even think Diva's going to have a better shot at dealing with the Venture as well. So I think overall just going to be a better tank choice for the comp EIG Assassins is playing.
And I want to highlight Soul just a touch more because, I mean, what is Haywire, what is Mad Buck supposed to do against this? They don't really have the range to pop this Echo as long as she stays in the sky, but Bandit surely will. Haywire, the first taken out of the fight again. That will give the space for the David to move forward, but will not have the mech because it's dislodged from him. The jagged spikes dismantling the mech from the Diva. Now the Hazard under some pressure, but will take down their opposite number. The overriding protocol first out from Bandit again. This is huge. The heavy shots, Ray, reigning supreme, and Haywire has switched to the on-run. Wait, what is this? But doesn't even matter as the virus will take hold.
Yeah, as the Kiri's going to go to point and use the Suzu. They know that cooldown's out. They have an ability to push and get aggressive here.
Oh, and they certainly will, but the time is not in their favor. Still, the point remains with the team in red, and the percentage accruing. Finally, they switched the point on the back of a couple of kills, and recognized the cooldowns were not available. Good work from them to cap the point.
Oh man, these are laid staggers. You cannot let this happen. If you're the side of EIG, you're going to give up so much percentage, and Star Wolf's going to get taken down. Disaster strikes for EIG Assassins, but Virtus Pro now, knowing the dire situation they were in, and strike quickly. So very good situational awareness. They're going to have this dupe. They're going to have the Kitsune Rush. Lots of things coming online. Haywire is now on the Emery, which I did not like the on-run, so I'm totally cool with the Emery.
That's a merry-go-round for Haywire, trying to find a matchup that will work for him. Ray, the duplicate. Do you copy your own Diva, go double tank, double bomb? What do you think?
I think it's definitely a choice. Haywire's taking out Bandit. This is what I talked about, getting Bandit off the field early and often. Haywire was able to set that up.
Wow, massive kill. We'll let you ponder the duplicate. Maybe we'll see it. It will be the double Diva action. So much HP on the point. This Hazard being bullied away. The Anarchist, there's nothing he could do. And now a bomb will explode upon his head. But it's really the frag grenades from Haywire that are getting the job done. They take the Soul out of mech, and they take the other Diva too. That's Misery out of theirs. Two Divas gone to the grave, and the point will flip for the side in red.
Yeah, again, this has been a back and forth of getting early picks on key characters.
Yeah.
Last fight, it was a late stagger onto Starwolf and an early pick onto Haywire. This time around, they're able to get Bandit early, who Bandit already has another override protocol. So you're going to have to be worrisome of that if you decide to EIG Assassins.
100%, and no sound barrier to counter it, but there is a sound barrier for Yuri, but they'll start it off with the virus once more. The host doing the work with the virus, providing the power. Oh, it's a double for him. Can he make it? 3, the Kitsune Rush popped a tad late, and I don't think there's much that they can do about it, but try to hang onto the point for all they got. Just get the percentage, maybe to force one final fight. They're hanging on, but only just. The supports vying for survivability, and now they are slain. It'll turn over for the Virtus pronouns.
Yeah, and the Virtus pronouns, this is likely final fight territory. They got that sound barrier to deal with this incoming override protocol, and they have a remech available for Misery. So I think they're in a good position to be able to force a third map on Lijiang Tower, but let's see what's going to happen here. The override protocol could just go crazy.
Hold on to your seats, CGL fans. The overriding protocol now reigns supreme from the skies.
The Kiri didn't get it.
Oh no, the Suzu just not there in time, but the sound barrier forced, and yes, no sound barrier onto the Kiriko, but it doesn't matter as Haywire will find a kill under their opposite number. Muschette somehow plucks the wings of the Echo. Wait, what? The Diva Bomb now in desperation laid upon the point, but gets the squish instead? What? I know Venture likes to be underground, but not that way. That's a massive kill, highlight real performance, but Misery is just facing too much damage. They are taken down as the overtime wick continues to burn.
And I'm surprised they didn't like be patient and let it get to OT, let the point flip. They're gonna just go for some last minute touches. Your Ray gonna go down, point's gonna flip, and I don't think they have the numbers. That is it. EIG Assassins takes map number 1.
Wow, what a lovely play. Full throttle from the Assassins, and okay, they got the map 1, and I like the momentum that they had. Normally, we've seen the reverse sweeps in a lot of these lower bracket rounds from them, but now off to a hot start. They're looking good. It's been these overriding protocols, though, Ray, that have really been doing the bulk of the damage.
Yeah, I agree. I will say in that fight there, unfortunately, the sound barrier, I couldn't tell if that was the Kiri or because Bandit's the one who ended up going down. Either the Kiri or Bandit did not get that sound barrier, and then the override protocol was able to get the kill onto Bandit, and that really opened the floodgates for the side of EIG Assassins to get on the point and clean things up. So huge play coming out from Haywire, but it's an unfortunate, I guess, positioning of the sound barrier to where everyone did not get it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was like 2 members that didn't get it on the side of the Virtus pronouns, and that was disastrous for him. I love the double diva combination in these replays. Just wonderful work. Ray, are there adjustments that the pronouns need to do moving into map 2?
It's gonna depend. I mean, they did pick this map, so you know, I bet it probably hurts a little bit to win your map pick, but you do get to pick the map once again. I think the big question is, if you want to continue to play this Winston Diva style, do you take us to a map like Numbani or Dorado, where it's like, yeah, you're playing those tanks basically. And I will say they also burned the Zarya ban pretty early on. So now Muschette is going to have that at the dispose for the rest of the series, and that's probably one of Muschette's best tanks, as we kind of talked about. It's like the Hazard and the Zarya are his 2 best tanks.
I mean, 25 eliminations on Muschette, 7,000 damage. I mean, I think they're comfortable sticking on the Hazard as long as it's available to them. And this is where now the Virtus Pronouns Academy are in a tough spot. Do we ban the Hazard? Do we ban the Venture? You only have so many bans that you can do. Let's say they ban the Hazard, they lose again. They ban the Venture, they lose again. The game's over. Doesn't matter. So they have to win one of those, as these clutch picks for the Assassins are no longer on the board.
Yeah, and Bandit's a fantastic hit scan player, but Emery is like the one he just goes to town on. You saw how fast they're playing the override protocols. So they also at some point could just choose to ban that and force, you know, Bandit onto like a Cass or a Soj or possibly a Widow or an Ashe, where, you know, they're still good, but the Emery is just so good right now. Like there's a reason like Emery's getting played so much all over Overwatch right now, just because the amount of raw damage that hero can pump out.
And from range, right? It feels like he has no fall off. You're just peeking down sights, just popping people. You got the Siphon Blaster to heal yourself up. The double frag grenades, if you just hit that down with choke, and usually one-shot a lot of the other DPS you're going up against. So a lot of things in the kit for the Turkish agents as we wait for our next map pick. I mean, this has looked really good for the Assassins. We will be going to Escort. Ray, any guesses on which location?
I mean, we can see it. I don't even want to pretend I can't see it. Sorry, we got multiple screens with all that. We're going to Rialto for the next one, which I think is very interesting because I am a person who's watched almost all the Diamond games, and if it wasn't streamed, I'd go and watch all the codes. Rialto has been very up and down for VP. Either they have had some amazing magic happen, or they've lost some maps that kind of make you raise your eyebrows a little bit. But this is also more of a Fragster map where they play the Sigma. So we'll see if EIG Assassins have picked up on that, because I would be looking to ban the Sigma if I was them.
Ray didn't want to play along with me, Fred. We got to keep the crowd guessing. We got to feed them some funny stuff. And you're right. We've got, thanks to Hippie and all his magic, we've got all the different things to see. But let's take a look at the bans. The Virtus Pronouns have elected to ban first. You mentioned a few folks. I mean, the Sigma could be one, as you mentioned, if they want to play that. The Malga we haven't really even talked about, but maybe the Hazard, maybe the Venture. What's your guess?
I wouldn't say Venture, because I don't think it's a very Venture-centric map, kind of how I talked about on Lijiang Tower. Like, Venture's good on Lijiang Tower. I think you can definitely play Venture on Lijiang Tower, but this map is definitely not a Venture map. Banning the Reaper is interesting, because to me, like, does that mean they still want to play the Diva Winston on this map and not the Sigma? Because if that's the case, I mean, banning Reaper makes sense, but, like, I don't think Reaper is going to be one of those heroes like I'd be super worried about if you were going to play Sigma, so... I'm curious to see what we're going to get out of VP on this map. I mean, also it's going to depend on what the ban is for the side of Assassins.
For sure. And I think Reaper has some good synergy with a lot of the tanks that are in this tier right now. Whether you're playing the Zarya, the Malga, so on and so forth, I think they combos well. Or if you're trying to counter the dive, like the T for the Winston, he's just really good. The Dire Trigger buff in Season 2 has helped him out even more than already. So we'll take a look at the next ban. And I think, well, it's like, do you go for the tank and ban out the Winston? But it's like, why would you do that if they take out the Reaper unless you've got something else for it? Or do you go for the Diva and try to, like, just kind of hamstring the hero pool and force them just play the Winston?
It's kind of how I talked about. I mean, I know this is a map that Fracture likes to come on and play the Sigma and be very comfortable. Yeah. I would probably go that direction, but I mean... Because the supports as well, like I don't think Uri is going to be playing the Lucio on this map. My guess is they're probably going to go more of a double flex setup, or maybe play the Wu Yang or Brig possibly. But I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of looking at this right now, and if it's not Sigma, I'm not sure like what the obvious ban for Assassins is here, and I can kind of get like why it's been taking so long to get the pick in. I don't even think we have it yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's kind of free, but that also makes it difficult because we're like, well, what's really going to be the most effective if we feel like our strategy is working as they do run out of time? Will we get the lock? I guess they have some extra bonus time for them to work with. I mean, maybe now's the opportunity just to ban a support, just say, okay, don't play the Lucio this time, and we'll figure out something with the Juno or whatever it may be. I mean, they found themselves in a tough position, and you called it, buddy. You're 2 for 2, the Sigma. Not in this one.
Yeah, I think the Sigma, again, as I talked about, it was the one ban I thought was a little bit more like screaming at you. Like none of the supports on this map are like Kiri, for example. Like I think Kiri's a good ban against most teams in CGL, but I don't think like this is a map where like you have to play Kiri. I think, I would save that for more of like a flashpoint situation or possibly push. So none of the supports are really screaming to me, so I like that they ended up settling on the Sig.
Okay, yeah, makes sense to me. Try to hamstring them, make sure they can't put in their like X Factor player that just comes in for one map real fast, and get the map win and get them level in the series and get the momentum on their side. So if you can keep the subs on the bench and keep them cold, I think that's good. As we are thinking about what the players want to do, they're getting themselves settled for this next match. I mean, there's a lot on the line. Going to the lower bracket finals against the Zebras, they're a very clinical squad. That'd be scary for any team to face, but one of these squads in front of us has to punch the ticket. For Ray. Ray,
Yeah.
you also are corralling.
Sorry,
like we said, you're the caster corraler. You've got all the admin work to do as well as cast, so pulling double duty.
No. It's totally fine. To me, this next map, this is like a map where Bandit can really do a lot of hard carrying, because this is a very hit scan oriented map where high ground is going to matter a whole lot. But as I kind of mentioned in the past, VP has been extremely up and down on this map. They've had a crazy overtime comeback against UTD Celestial back in week 8. but they've also dropped this map to Scouts. The one map they dropped in round 1 to Emerald Eagles was on this map. So they've had high highs and low lows on this map. So are we going to get somewhere in between, or is it going to be an extreme again?
Oh, so they're rolling the dice for sure. And in a moment like this, you might have to go for some of those high risk, high reward plays, especially, all right, let's say you do lose this round. You're down 0-2. Okay, you can still come back from that, right? At least this isn't like the final map potentially of this series. So they have a tiny bit of wiggle room. Not that they want to get there, but it's okay to roll the dice and maybe get a nat 20 potentially in this. We're still waiting on the players to get themselves ready. I don't think we have the rosters and the substitutes. They're still figuring out with this Sigma ban. It's really thrown them for a loop, Ray.
I honestly, from what I'm seeing in the match chat, they're trying to get like the player cams like officially like ready. I think some stuff was messing up. There's some tech stuff going on. So they're just figuring that out real quick, but we'll be getting you guys into Rialto very shortly. But if any of you just joined me, kind of recap a little bit how this series has gone so far. Sure. These teams have played each other in the past. It's gone 5 maps. EIG Assassins, every single one of their playoff series has been 5 maps so far. And then coming out on map 1, Lijiang Tower, Virtuous Pronouns pick. Assassins come out and they're able to win that. Both sub-maps extremely close, but once they got things going on that hazard, they looked pretty dang good. So now it's going to be on the back of Virtuous Pronouns to try and respond and fight back on this second map.
That was a good memory, Ray. I was like, I feel like we just watched it. I'm like, wait, what happened again? So yeah, great work on the recap on this episode of CGL Season 17. Well, I think we have our cameras ready and our rosters ready. So let's pull those up and see if we have any substitutions. And I know, Ray, you and I can see it, but the fans certainly cannot. Let's pull it up for them so they can see what players will be in this next match.
As I'll just tell you folks, we're still getting some technicalities worked out.
Oh, come on, Hippie, you're killing me, bro.
It's okay, folks. Oh man, sometimes things just happen. As now we got it going for you guys. As Haywire, the camera was flipped sideways, so you couldn't really see it. So hopefully they get that worked out and we get that player cam back on and ready to go.
Okay, all right, but we are seeing the rosters here. Misery still front and center for her squad, playing the tank. No changes from either squad, so you like to see this, right? Just if it's not broke, let's keep it going. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to be eyeing up Starwolf on this one. Will they play the Ana? There's some great sight lines for that character to work.
I think there's definitely a possibility, as we do have a substitution coming in, as Fragster will come in. So with the Sigma ban, my guess is they go more of like a Ram Orisa route, and since Sigma's not available. So I wonder how that impacts things if you're the side of EIG Assassins. If they do go more Ram Orisa, that's the one thing that you will have an advantage over that Ram is Ram can't really, Ram or Orisa cannot access the high ground easily at all. They have to path and take a long time. So your hit scans should easily have a nice sightline and high ground advantage over the Ram, assuming they're just gonna, mostly stay on cart, because I haven't seen a lot of ground tanks who are constantly pathing to the high ground and taking that away.
Yeah, not really the case on Rialto, but now it makes me think about the Hazard, because Hazard into Orisa, don't necessarily like that matchup, right? She could just spear you away, that kind of thing. I think into the Ramatra is fine, but I like the Ramatra there too. Vortex him down, punch him in the face, whatever. So then that forces Mochete onto something else, potentially the Zarya, now that it's open.
That's a very good point as well. Do we get the Zarya versus the Ram matchup? Which I will say, as someone who plays Ram/Orisa, when I play Orisa, right, and someone, swaps to Zarya to deal with me, my first instinct is go the Ram, because the Ram has the sustainability to outlast a lot of the damage that Zarya can put down, just being able to hold that form and such. As we do see Fragster is going to be on this Ram on the defense, as they're going to go with the Ana Brig, which the only thing that worries me about that with a Ramatra is, yes, Ramatra has a lot of sustainability, but Ana Brig isn't a lot of heals, especially when you have to focus on more than just Fragster. I'd be worried that they don't have enough heals to possibly keep him up in a ground tank battle. But I mean, it could be, I mean, based on what the Assassins are playing, they might just ignore him.
They might just ignore. When I see this backline, and I also see Soul on the Genji Ray, that for me is like, we're playing for Nano Blade. So if we give up some ground, that's okay. This choke point on point 1 is so difficult at times. So if we can just stop them there, accrue our ultimates, have better ultimate economy, I think that'll work in their favor for those pronouns. But you're right, the healing has to come through to get them there. On the flip side, we're seeing more of the same for the Assassins. This is the comp they ran on Li Tao.
Yeah, as Haywire immediately going to go over to the Emery, and a rail shot from Bandit, already showing that, yes, I am a demon at the Emery, but I also am great at that Soj hero as well.
Oh, yeah. That was a headshot from distance, but the cart ever so steadily moving forward. They've ducked and covered from the barrage of bullets that are assailing them. It's like D-Day out here in Rialto, and now they access the high ground to shoo some of those characters away. This is good push, but now somebody has to step to it. Will be Soul to try to put somebody under, and from the underground goes the Venture, but Haywire will open up the kill feed.
Yeah, getting Bandit down, as we talked about, that's like the boss battle. You're trying to get off of the field. As Fragster pops that for him relatively early, having to back up and try and reposition. This is the opportunity. Madbook's going to get hit by the anti-nade, though, so they can't get too aggressive.
Well, they certainly cannot, but still, with 4 members on the cart, it will move forward. This is the place they want to hold, right under this overpass, but Fragster taking a ton of damage, saved by 2 players. There's the healing you're looking for as Bandit tags his opposite number again. Oh, but the health bar eliminated from Fragster. No can defend from the onslaught that is the Assassins. They are bullying their way through point 1. One final member is being kidnapped by the Venture, and there you go, point 1 capped.
Yeah, Brig going down. The key was great wall from Muschetti to completely wall off Fragster, and they're able to focus him down. Once the Ram's down, they're able to win that fight extremely comfortably. Urge's pronouns, however, they're going to be able to try and take this high ground. However, Muschetti's doing the right thing, trying to get up here very quickly and at least, try and stop them from getting this advantage, but all 5 of them are up here, and they have a lot of ultimates.
Oh, and the tectonic shock gets slapped immediately. Running out of time is the Venture to find Birches with this ultimate, but it's all about getting that high ground and getting the space, and that's what every good tank does. And a lot of space they did claim as they're trying to round this first one, but denying the entry at the door is the Bandit, stealing the lives away from the opposition. And there you go, Muschetti gives up his life. He knows the push is forfeit.
Yeah, I will say, considering how good Bandit is at that Sojourn, getting that overclock out of the way, it's like a little bit of a relief, but at the same time, you're walking into Nanoblade this next fight. So I'm looking at Spiky Cloud with this sound barrier online. The timing is going to have to be impeccable to stop Soul on this Genji.
Oof, no Ajaxes, no, errant jumps off the ledge. It has to be clean from Spiky Cloud. They know that this high ground is so instrumental to the success of the Virtus Pronouns Academy. Can they dislodge them from the point? They are huddled up here, Ray, and it's pretty scary, but a treasure trove of ultimates for them. We're just waiting for the fireworks to pop off.
Yeah, great wall attempt from Muschetti as now the downpour is going to come out. They got a couple in it. It's going to force positioning. It's going to allow Muschetti to get Soul.
No, that's the character they needed to keep alive. Once again, the sun extinguished, and it will be midnight here in Rialto. The rally, more just to sound the retreat than to move on forward. This cart has barely stopped for even an instant, and it rolls its way to point 2.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes is a massive time bank on this map. And again, the Assassins have been really smart about their ult usage. Soul's now going to go over to the Pharah, and I will say, I think... once you get inside, what is the Pharah actually doing? So they're gonna have to get total value out of this Pharah while they're still outside.
Oh, that's a little bit scary. Yeah, don't want to put the bird in the cage if you can help it, but inside a Spiky Cloud, and to the heavens they go. Bandit with a double kill, looking to make it 3, but Ure will take it from him. Finally, the defense holds.
Yeah, good nano coming in onto Bandit. It's also going to allow him to build up to another overclock. I will say, I do think the idea of the Pharah is you know, the Soj, not that great at dealing with Pharah because you can't really farm your rails, and the only way to kill Pharah is really with a good rail. Haywire now going to go over to the Bastion. So this is going to be a lot of frontline damage that Frax is going to have to deal with. That's another great wall, but Bandit's able to get out.
I love this. Okay, change up the tactics. I mean, Fragster has always been the one they've been eyeing up, but if they can put even more pressure on him, why not? Now an off angle here for the Bastion. Haywire going absolutely bananas on him. The sound barrier, however, is forced out, but the tectonic shock here as well. The annihilation surely is hungry. Are those nanobots? What value can they get? Not too much, but Fragster takes one down with a knock to the noggin.
Very well played from Bandit and Fragster. Both those ultimates able to give them the stability they need to be able to hold there. And now it's going to allow these support ultimates to get online. Soul's going to be the first one with this rocket barrage, as Haywire not going to go over to the Soldier 76, as Assassins used a lot in that fight. So the only thing they have coming online anytime soon is that Hazard downpour. But Uri's found Madbucks.
A mace to the face, a mace to the face for Uri. Okay, stops Madbucks in their tracks, and this is an economical hold for Virtus Pro now because
Uri.
they...
I keep saying Uri on accident. My bad, Uri. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, Ray, they're fully in this alt economy cycle. They have the advantage. Now they just have to execute. That's the big thing. And now I'm also looking at Haywire. The tale is old as time. Switch to the Soldier to take down the Pharah. Let's see if he can do it.
Madbucks uses that drill dash cycle, not going to be able to get anything. Soul still has this rocket barrage looking for a good position to use this. Then nano boost now online. They can throw that onto anyone as they so do please. I wonder if they'll give it to Bandit again to try and build up to another overclock.
Has been incredibly successful with them, and there's the barrages. It was a ton of folks in the corner. Doesn't get the kills, but gets the assists as the team now cleans it up. That push stopped.
As a lot of time is drained off this clock. We talked about they had almost 4.5 minutes. Now we're down to a minute and a half. They did use a lot in that fight, so the only thing they have at their disposal is going to be the nano. Again, I am a proponent. Give it to Bandit. He's 30% away from an overclock.
Yeah.
I mean, he might build it up before that, so maybe you can just nano overclock at this point. And this fight takes a bit to really get going.
The downpour now rains on Rialto, and the Violet Leap finds Minty crunched into little itty bits. And that will mean Fragster is surely to follow with no healing at his back. And off a one-fight win, the Assassins take it. Now they have 2 support ultimates to bring this home.
Yeah, and they're going to have their tectonic shock as well. In the blink of an eye, Assassin's able to totally flip this, and they get Bandit early. Muschetti with the spawn attack. Now Fragster going to be forced to have to use this form early to be able to stall on point, but they get Mighty Cloud.
What? The ante was perfectly on to the DJ, and he could not sing his battle song. The annihilation now back out for Fragster, and he's got some vengeance to dish out, and it surely is cold. Shoot away are the Assassins. Do they have time for one more push?
They will have time for one more push, and this is where things get exciting. Bandit, who's been a demon on this Soldier in this map, has the overclock. It's the only ultimate online for Virtus Pro Academy. Assassins has 3 ults, and Spiky Cloud has a sound barrier. The sound barrier should be able to deal with this Bandit overclock. So then these 2 DPS ultimates from Haywire and Madbucks gotta find value.
There's the sound barrier, but it's only on to 3. The ante immediately tossed upon a couple, but a tectonic shock into the backline. It's got to claim the bridge, but he sacrifices his life for. Is that the trade that you want? This may be the final fight, the final stand for the Assassins. The kill feed is just going every which way. Ultimates flying abound in this epic clash. This is the tanks that now are going at it 1v1, but Starwolf will third party the situation and take the leader of all sector down. Good work from that lethal support. We said how clinical she can be, but more deadlifting from the Kiriko is certainly needed now as the respawn advantage is coming in for the side of the defense. Onto the Diva goes Fragster just so they can touch the point. Is that another downpour that rains from the heaven, and another double for the main tank of the Assassins, just killing people left and right. It is Bandit so close with a rail shot, and it will take down Starwolf from range. This is what the character needs to do now to get the point in their favor and get the cart to stop moving.
No, they weren't able to get these kills fast enough. The players came back for Virtus Pro. They're able to hold as they now have themselves a win condition to tie up this series. What a round from both of these teams. My goodness.
Wow, Ray, that had me sweating. I was like, are they gonna get it? Are they gonna defend? What was gonna happen? I know there's replays in plethora from that first push, and that was just the one attack. Now we have the Virtus Pronouns who have their opportunity, but basically, I mean, they've gotten all 3 points, the Assassins, right? The cart was almost touching the goal line, so we'll see if the Pronouns can now do it on attack. Do you think they change up their composition now that they're on the offense?
That is the question of the day. My guess is they'll probably stick with the Ram and what was working for a while on that defense. Yeah, we do see them highlighting the Ram immediately. We see Soul going to stick that Pharah, as Haywire on the defense is going to go the Emery. So that's a little bit, you got to be nervous a little bit if you're Soul, just because now they actually have a hit scan who can attack this Pharah.
Yeah, it might just be a quick peek out, see what they're going to have on the defense, and then go to something else. I mean, that's the benefit of the attack, right? The spawn room's right there. I feel like Bandit will do the same, right? Take a quick pot shot, see if they can just headshot someone, eliminate them, create an advantage state for them. But this Wu Yang, that is curious for me. What's the thought process here?
Ure definitely loves to play that Wu Yang. He's very talented on it. I'm really curious to see how it's going to work with this Kiri. And it's going to stick on the Widow a little bit longer than I thought he would. Question is, does he go further? And it looks like he will for the time being, which, I mean, he's had some crazy performances on Widow on Havana, so I think Rialto is definitely going to be another one of those maps that are going to look to do that.
And I mean, maybe not getting the kills, but that's a tactical knockout in my book, Ray, as they are getting the space, and that is what's all important. It's an objective game after all, and Haywire is the primary target on the nice edge of death. Will get healed, but just barely. But now it's Fragster. He is the one that's taking the ire for the squad, and that will be a burrow and a drill dash away. A bunch of damage dumped into the front line, but no kills have gone, and as I say it, Haywire, a headshot from range.
Yeah, as we're gonna see some attention finally get put to Bandit on the point, but with that already down, you either gotta die or get out if you're the side of EIG Assassins, and that late stagger on Mad Bucks is not good for the Assassins. They probably still get another defense here, but they gotta be careful. Bandit again gets Spiky Cloud.
Wow, the Widow is working! Oh, they can't even get out of the little doorway, and it's just free cart progress as they make their way to the checkpoint 1. Now the wall hacks are abound. Starwolf, you don't want to take this, friend, please! Not the 1v1, but Machete will try to stack up against his opposite number and be felled immediately. That was a quick point 1.
Yeah, Bandit on this Widow is a problem. Assassins, you have to find a solution for this, or this map is going to be over in the blink of an eye. They have to be able to put pressure on Bandit on this Widow. He is staying extremely far back, though, so these supports, they're positioning Starwolf and Spiky. It has to be better.
I mean, you have Mad Bucks, and Venture's pretty good at getting into the backline and taking down the Widow, or do you try to swap onto a Widow to counter another long range here, like an Ashe or something like that, right? It seems like they have the tools to do it. It's now about the execution. So theory and practicality kind of combining here, but I'm looking at this barrage, Ray, could be huge.
I agree, as they got someone extremely low, but Fragster forced to back up. Soul gonna have this rocket barrage. I thought they might use it there, but Kiri able to TP out of there. Mad Bucks trying to find something here, and Haywire is gonna get taken down.
Bandit opening up the kill feed again, and that is free real estate for Fragster to work. Has the Annihilation should they decide to leverage it, but all he needs is the pummeling fist to take Starwolf down again. Bandit finally is felled, but it's a little too late. It's the Virtus Pronouns screaming forward.
Yeah, they are dominating right now. I will say, this is the point where we felt the same way about the Assassins. Machete now going to go over to the Ram, which I think is the smart thing. The Virtus Pronouns are not really playing anything you can really go after on the hazard like that. The Soj has the slide, the Pharaoh's in the sky, the Wu Yang has a wave, the Kiri has a TP, so you're just going to need to be able to sustain in this front line.
Well, the Consone is guiding, and it's certainly guiding Starwolf into the grave as the Helixes crisscross the battlefield once more. And oh my gosh, the backstab from Fragster. He's on a 10k kill streak. Ray, you mentioned it. It's either a crazy success for Virtus Pronouns or absolute disaster. This time, it's all success.
Yeah, they are looking incredible right now, rounding the final corner. Still got 3 ultimates in their back pocket. I just want to see some aggression with these ultimates and get this going.
The DPS duo for the Assassins, they have to deadlift this now. A Herculean effort from them, but they have to fight into some hungry nanobots. Wait, a dogfight in the sky, dodging against the pillars. I love utilizing the terrain to your advantage, but the kill feed is going all the way to Blue. Fragster, the one getting the frags in this contest, but his members are falling around him. He can go with the pummel.
Another sound barrier you didn't need.
Didn't need it there, Ray. Spiky Cloud wants that back for sure.
Man, the only thing they're lucky is there's no ultimates online for either of these teams anytime soon. So, I mean, that's lucky because you don't have to deal with that. You're not going to want a sound barrier for that. But having a sound barrier to sustain for a fight would have just been fantastic. So now they have to win this just purely on, you know, their pushes and their positions and focus fire. They don't have any just press a button, win fight.
And I love the battles of the neutral because this really highlights the technical ability as well as the tactics from both of the teams, as we have Haywire firing on an off angle from range but takes a couple shots and has to retreat. And this has been Bandit who's kept Haywire in check, and Madbucks as well, almost one shot in there. Back onto the point with 3 minutes remaining now. The Virtus pronouns accruing ultimates but losing members. Minty will get consumed by their opposite number now. Full throttle go the Assassins to push him away.
And they were able to build up to Machete's ult. Bandit's going to have the overclock, however, so that's going to be a big time opening for Bandit in this next fight. So they're going to be looking to engage with that relatively quickly, as Haywire is getting really close to an override protocol, however, but aggression with this annihilation.
And the first move will go to Machete. The nanobots are buzzing. Oh, but they are felled quickly. Madbucks, however, finds a double in the backline. Make it a triple for him. But he will be put 6 feet under with a swift
You can't
head.
push now, really, if you're the pronouns. Like, you're down 3. The spawns are so much closer to the side of EIG Assassins. I don't like this aggression coming out from Fragster.
And yeah, they might get staggered. I mean, you have 2 minutes, Ray. Like, go back, regroup with your team, but maybe they want to get this annihilation online to combo with the rest of the other team. But it's Kitsune Rush from Minty to get the party started once again. It's another battle in the skies, this time being won out by Soul and the concussive blast. Good work, and a barrage from point blank range might kill themselves. They do die as Starwolf will put a kunai through their eyeballs. Another battle, another boxing match between the leaders of Null Sector. The guard is up for Moshete, but the team is getting deathly low around him. Starwolf, will be slain in the midst of it all. The tidal blast will knock a couple people down and get this cart rolling.
As Fragster's really low, he's got to survive. He gets the form out just in time, able to get Madbucks as we see Haywire gonna go down, and they're able to win this point. Virtus pronouns ties up the series 1 apiece.
Wow, that was back and forth, Ray. That was crazy, man. This is why we come to the CGL Season 17 playoffs. My word, we find ourselves knotted up at 1-1. Let's take a look at this highlight reel from Haywire. Was doing some great work, but was contested heavily in the skies by Soul. This time he wins the day, though.
Yeah, I mean, very well played by the pronouns. They were able to get really picks early. I do think, again, Spiky Cloud with these beats, man, and you can just save these for your team. You'd be in such a better position. But, again, Soul on the Pharah, Bandit on that Sojourn. It was looking really good for that DPS line.
100%. And you know what? Madbucks had found some purchase in this, right? Getting eliminations and kills and whatever, but hasn't run away with the game. So the scrims that the Virtus pronouns have found has really been benefiting them. They can save those bans for some other impactful heroes they need to take off the board. So this is definitely, it's a mind game as well as a tactics game, as well as an endurance game in this. I mean, we said this could go all the way, and it's looking like it. Mike.
I agree. All these maps have been extremely close. So I think we might be in for a full distance series coming out from both of these teams. So for me, what's going to be important is we took at the scoreboard for both of these teams. I think what's going to be important is who wins this next map, because I think we're going 5. So whoever wins the next map will also be picking the final map in the series. So map number 3 going to be crucial for this series.
Okay, well, that is certainly one to watch. Ray, is there anything that is standing out to you in the scoreboard? For me, it's Minty with 31 assists and 12,000 healing.
Yeah, I mean, that's Kiri just doing Kiri things is the way I look at that. Excuse me. Um, but I mean, overall, Bandit just going insane. But Fragster came through 35-4 on the Ram, did a really good job coming in. I know the previously they played Rialto in the playoffs, Fragster's first map. As a member of this team, wasn't able to get the win. So I'm sure they're feeling extremely good being able to come to this map now, get a big victory, and really get some positive momentum going. Because, I mean, mental is going to be extremely important. Going down 2-0, I think would have put like VP mentally in not the best space. So I'm really glad they're able to tie this up 1-1.
100%. That was their map pick. They had a clear strategy, as you mentioned. So, love to see them being successful. Well, folks, you've heard from me, you've heard from Ray, but now you've got to hear from the break screen. We've got to take a quick breather. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, CGL fans. You are tuning into the CGL Season 17 NA Diamond Tier lower bracket semifinals. It's a do or die moment between the EIG Assassins and the Virtus Pronouns Academy. And joining you is HD Philly B and the man who is trying his hardest. It's Ray. We find ourselves locked up at 1-1 going into map 3.
Again, it has been a banger of a series so far. Both maps have come down to the wire. back and forth. You are not gonna. I mean, do not go anywhere. I'm not sure. I'm checking. The grand finals for Latin America already ended, so I'm assuming we got rated here. You don't want to miss this. Don't leave. Keep watching. This is a great series so far. It's not a snooze fest, as we do know the map that EIG Assassins, which is ironically the first map they've been able to choose this series. They've chosen to take us to Midtown, which to me has not been surprising. This has been a map favorite of theirs.
I do love myself some Midtown. And now, Ray, what will we see? Do we see the Ilyani on at least first point? Will we see the Zarya? I know a bunch of people played that. Will we go back to the Ramatra? Does Fragster now take a backseat and we go back to the dive for Virtus Pronouns? I mean, so many opportunities, so many options in this third map.
See, the thing about Midtown is it's very interesting. I definitely don't think it's like a Winston angle. If you are going to bring Misery in, it's probably a Diva angle. But I think either Poke or Brawl is going to be the better option for a map like this. So my guess is Fragster will stay in. There's a good chance. I mean, Ram's still going to be fantastic. The Sigo is going to be available. So for a map like Midtown, I would definitely probably be keeping Fragster in. But as now we're going to see the bans coming online as Assassins going to get that first ban. So I wonder what direction they're going to go in. I mean, I don't necessarily think it'd be a bad thing just to take Soj away from Bandit after that map.
100%, or the Emre, or do you even go at the Ramatra? Okay, it will be the Sojourn. 3 for 3. Ray, okay. Great predictions in chat. I want to hear who you think will be taken off the board next. It's this time is the Virtus Pronouns. Do they go for, I feel like maybe they dip into the support role this time, or maybe the Hazard? What do you think?
If Virtus Pronouns have done their homework, you ban Hazard here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Hazard's been a big hero for them, but every time they've picked Midtown, they go Hazard. So I would definitely be looking to take that off of the field. Then you're probably going to find yourself in a Zarya battle, but I mean, at this point, with how much success overall Muschietti's had on the Hazard, I would just take it away, considering they play it so much on this map.
Makes sense to me. And also now what we are considering, oh, Ray, 100%, A+++. This guy just killing it. With these two now off the board, that does open up the Reaper, however, to be played for Haywire, should they elect to do so. So the Hazard, Sojourn, they'll take a backseat as we head to New York. We're getting the rosters situated. We'll see if there's any substitutes. But with now that we know the bans, are you thinking still more for this maybe Sig Poke, or are you thinking Zarya Brawl? What are you eyeing up?
For Assassins, I think they're going to probably whip out the Zarya on this map. I think for Virtus Pronouns, assuming they're keeping in Fragster, I'm not 100% certain on that, but I'd assume they are. Then it's either, I mean, do they go the Ram Brawl? I think that's going to be a lot easier to be able to combat what likely is going to be a Zarya. Sigma is more susceptible to being run down by the Zarya, so the Ram can at least sustain and hold in the front line. But Sig, I mean, I think on attack for sure, you'll go Ram against the Zarya. Defense is more the question, because Sigma is just so good defensively on this map.
Really is. Great sight lines for him, can duck and cover, get the shield recovery, move back out. So a lot of options in terms of the tank. I mean, I like the Zarya, the Reaper combo, right? Send him in with the bubble, get you charged, then bully your way through, maybe find a pick in the back line if you're lucky. So a lot of opportunities here. Last time I saw the Assassins, they played Midtown, and it was wild work. They were playing the Sigma. They got a Flux 9, right, where they lifted everybody up on the point where they were able to sneak the cart through for the victory. So maybe they'll do that again today. But I feel like they'll only do that if it is a Sig v Sig matchup. Otherwise, they might go away from
it. So, again, we've seen the Ram win on Rialto, which is more typically a dive poke map. We know the Haz isn't available, so Muschietти, we've seen the Ram out of him. They could go the Ram, but as I've kind of talked about, he plays a lot of Zarya, is very good at the Zarya, and the Zarya is going to have that damage to help beam down people. Like, maybe even you just, like, play Lucio Zarya, I would even possibly ignore the Ram and just speed past him and go beam down the back line or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to be interesting. Tight 1-1 series. Win and move on. Loser is out and getting fourth place.
Oof, and don't want to be on 4th place. I mean, that's not even on the podium. Don't even get a medal or anything. So feels bad, man. They want to win this one outright. Okay, I think we have the rosters available, Ray. Let's check it out. I'm not seeing our substitution banners. These two teams will clash mano-a-mano again.
Yeah, Fragster going to be staying in as expected. Likely going to be playing that Ram or Sig, as that's going to be available once again. Bandit, my guess is they'll go back to the Emery, which Emery, this is a fantastic Emery map anyway. I think the question, I mean, I think you'll probably still, play the Venture, especially if Assassins are on defense. I don't know which one they're on, but Venture's very good on this map. And you have a Zarya too, so you can even give your Venture bubbles to allow them to stay in the fight just a little bit longer. And based on those silhouettes, it looks like Frag, is going to play the Sig on the defense. And I mean, as it sits right now, Muschietti going to play the Sig on the offense as well. We have, at least from codes and all the games I've seen, I don't think I've seen the Muschietti Sigma as of yet, which I'm very interested to see.
Well, we were kind of theorizing whether the Sig Mira would be possible, right? Especially when they played Midtown in their previous set. And we will be seeing it potentially, right? They're still not out of the spawn room, but I'm liking what we've got so far. And I'm liking these shots, too, from Mara, our observer this evening. We thank you very much. And Hippie, of course, the producer, hitting the 1s and 2s as we get the countdown rolling. Haywire on the Symmetra. I saw this from them before. They just teleport right through this choke and go ring around the Rosie into that tiny room and bunker down. We'll see if they replicate that in this one.
Here we go, Soul on that Pharaoh once again as Haywire. They're going to go with the Sim composition, so they're just going to TP right on through as Soul will be able to throw down a lot of spam into this room. As we see now, some of them taking this high ground window. Soul's going to peek through.
And they wait in there until the teleport, the cooldown happens, and then they go to the opposite side. It's this ring around the Rosie, but getting caught is Haywire. Soul will be sacrificed for his troubles, but now the dominoes are certainly falling. There's nothing that they can do. That push thwarted.
Yeah, getting Soul out immediately. Haywire now going to go over to the Emery, which I totally agree. We're going to get a pause coming in from Soul as I kind of understand trying the Sim there first. And to me, it's not as great into the Sigma, especially Fair. I mean, you've seen Soul play Fair this whole series. Fair can just stay in the high, stay away from your Sim, just spam through the room that you're trying to get to anyway. So I completely agree with them totally abandoning that. The one advantage that the Sig composition, at least that Assassins is playing, they have the speed on the Lucio. So I'd be looking to run down this Brig, man.
And I think this is the...
As Muschetti's going to go over to the Ram, which to me, even more, like, get in there, run down these supports.
Yeah, you mentioned that even in the control for Li Jiang. You like that aggressive play style, Ray, and I'm all here for it. Let's see if blood will be spilt in the streets of New York today. But I also like this adaptation onto the far to take down the Venture, right? Madbucks has kind of been a touch quiet, hasn't been running and dominating the server. Yeah, finding kills here and there, but the far spying them out just like this and making sure the Archaeologists can't find purchase in this match. So great 1v1 between the DPSs as we are being tug of war to the point. Backing up nicely are the Virtus pronouns, just taking the space that is given to them.
Soul took quite a bit of damage. Bandit's taking quite a bit of damage as well, but they're able to find the kills. You do get the pick on a Bandit, which you can find a couple more, but they aren't. Spike is going to take it down as you're going to have to completely reset if you're the EIG Assassins.
Denied at the entry point. I mean, are the Assassins out of ideas here, right? Is there another adjustment they have to go for?
I mean, you got a Kitsune Rush coming in online a little bit earlier than Minty, so I'd be looking to go pretty aggressive pretty quickly. Bandit, however, does have that override protocol, so that's another thing you have to be extremely careful about. But they all got to get on the same target. You keep seeing a lot of targets getting low, but no one going down generally. So I need more target focus from the Assassins.
All right, prioritization is the key, and the overriding protocol now taking hold of the host, and they found a straggling member. Oh no, Muschietti getting cut down, but receiving a crap ton of heals from Starwolf, but the team was split for just a moment. They had to retreat behind their tank. So the overriding protocol, great. They do catch out Madbucks. He's supported by Spiky Cloud, but now maybe sacrificing themselves on to the point. The Kitsune certainly guiding Standing Star Wolf now. Can they shine brightly into the night? The barrage goes awry, and 2 now have been killed for the side of the defense. The Gravitic Flux will bring a couple people up and slam 1 down. Spiky Cloud now falls in the heat of the battle. It is still Fragster who is standing stalwart on the point, needs to take away as much time as possible, but now they're running this Sigma down, punching him left and right onto the point. Go the Assassins.
Being able to stay up on the Sigma is actually big because you're going to be able to re-engage who you have rally, so you might be able to force out some of these ultimates from the side of Assassins.
And they rally on in, but it doesn't last for long. The Brigitte slain in the heat of it all. It's Madbucks who does the job. Muschette punches through the rest of the remaining members, and at last, the point cap comes through.
And you are able to get the beat and that override protocol out of Haywire. Again, Assassins, I really need to communicate a little bit more about these ultimates. I was totally okay with the sound barrier there from Spiky Cloud, but I don't think you needed that override protocol. That barrier was enough to get it to you. One or the other, like, I'm a little bit.
It's a do or die moment, as you said earlier, Ray, and so maybe the little bit antsy on the keyboard are the players, and maybe a little antsy on this high ground. The tectonic shock, though, rips through the battlefield. Will it claim any victims? Not just yet. One more charge to go. Doesn't find any purchase, but they will get the high ground, the Assassins.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot of free card space as well, and you still have your Annihilation that Muschette can look to get aggressive with at any time, but Fragster's taking down Star Wolf, so I would not be looking to do that. I'd be looking to back up and reset. Ooh, and you get the override protocol out, but it's in exchange for the Annihilation. I guess you can kind of consider that an okay trade.
Oh, I don't know which one was popped first. I thought the overriding protocol was popped first, and if that's the case, Muschette, just die. You save the Annihilation for this round.
Yeah, if it was popped first, I don't know why you're using that. Agreed.
Yeah, tough look for him, especially because a couple of members had fallen already, but Virtus Pronouns, Ray, they have 2 ultimates to work with. They feel like they're in a good spot on defense.
Agreed, and it's totally free. There's no ultimates online for the Assassin. I mean, yeah, you might get a Kitsune Rush to match, but they have nothing to deal with this incoming Flux from Fragster, so yeah, they're in a really good spot.
And he's looking for it. Fragster wants all the elimination on his score sheet at the end of this match. The Kitsune willing them for the Carishan will rock the noggin, and all I can put is up the Dukes for Muschette as he is on the back pedal. Bandit singling out Madbucks, taking that 1v1 again.
Yeah, Madbucks is getting too aggressive right now on the venture. Like, you can't find yourself by yourself in the back line with your team completely backing up. Either he's not listening to their comms saying they're backing up, or they're not calming and letting him know what's going on. Like, that to me is a big, you cannot be having big disconnects like that.
Ray, for the first time in this series, Madbucks has switched off of the venture, now on the Cybernetic Ninja, taking a lot of damage as they go through the choke point under the bridge. The Kitsune guiding them once again, but right into the arms of Gravitic Flux. Could it be massive? I think it captures 2 and slams 2 down, gets the combination play. Madbucks cashed in for death, and the Rocket Barrage at point blank range will dismantle the leader of Null Sector, and it's a double for the Pharah.
Yeah, and I think they just were able to hold defensively now, as I don't think Haywire is down. 10 seconds left. No one's going to be able to touch, especially with the aggression they're taking. Very well played defensively from the side of Virtus Pronouns, trying to take a 2-1 series in this. We do get the from the touch, but it's just desperation at this point. I wouldn't be too worried about it if I was Virtus Pronouns.
Yeah, their comms have been clean, and round 1 will be complete, and that is where the cart will hold. That seems like a manageable distance to get if you are the Virtus Pronouns. That is a very clear goal for them to reach.
Again, I think, they've just, Fragster on this Sigma has been looking really good.
Yeah.
To me, you know, the venture just wasn't finding the value it needed to. I like the idea of swapping, but felt like it was a little too late, as I talked about right here. Like, what is the venture doing all the way back here alone? I just feel like it sounds like the cons either are not happening or are just too frazzled. And they need to clear that and get it clean again. And maybe, I mean, again, they got it to a spot where, I mean, on Midtown, I feel like it's very holdable. Not easy, but it's definitely in a position where I've seen plenty of team hold. So I don't think it's over for them.
Oh, absolutely not. And especially with last time they played Midtown, there was a lot of fighting over that bridge, and the cart was in a similar position. So certainly defensible by all means. And now Muschette onto the Zarya. We were wondering when this switch would come through. They take the Russian weightlifter here for the defense, but Bandit, I was querying on this too, Ray. I was like, okay, I think Bandit on this Widow would work wonders on at least this first point, maybe even second. They go for the sniper here.
Yeah, again, I'm wondering if this is something they're going to stick or if they're just going to try and... Because if they get one pick, this composition is just going to be able to steamroll this first point incredibly fast. Like, how long do they look to stick this?
Only one way to find out, my friend, and that is to get into battle. Haywire, they might have sniffed this out. They think they know that the sniper might be popping up there at any instant. The frag grenades just to see if a hurt box will register. Fragster trying to stand tall, but now Brigitte has to play tank for just a moment. We know she can with the upgraded shield. Still creating some room for this sniper to work. We haven't seen many shots from Bandit yet.
Yeah, Soul taking a lot of damage. You gotta be careful where you peek up on this Pharaoh. Once you kind of jump up in the open spaces like this on this first point, you're kind of a sitting duck, so they gotta be very careful about that.
Muschette charged up and ready to go, looking like golden tempo from the Kentucky Derby, but it is the Bandit who opens the kill feed, stealing the life of Spiky Cloud. We were talking about it, Ray, how the Lucio player needs to be more careful. They get picked first.
Yeah, but a lot of pressure being put onto that Pharah, and they're not able to, you know, walk forward as easily because the Zarya is so charged up. So Spiky Cloud's gonna be able to get back, and they found Soul.
Wow, that is massive and quick. Back to the fray is Spiky Cloud to help the team. They rotate into this side room here, but the Zarya is laser beating them down. The Jedi Knight of Overwatch just crushing through the battlefield. Mega work from the tank, and he's just zapping through the team.
Yeah, they just need to die.
Oof.
Very well played from the side of Assassins, going down one, being patient, not even using a single ultimate there. As Bandit's now going to get off of the Widow and go over to the Cass. As I say that, going to go over to the Emery. As both support ultimates are online for Virtus pronouns. As Assassins, I mean, they're close to the Kitsune, but Spiky Cloud, because they've been found out twice already, no sound barrier.
And very far from it, but a Graviton early on captures 3, vacuums them up and puts them down. The Tectonic Shock, or actually the Burrow rather, just layered them in to make sure they die, and an economic win for the Assassins.
Yeah, huge fight win, only needing to commit a singular ultimate. Good on the pronouns for not using anything, as now we're going to be coming up on a 4 ult for 3 exchange as VP, what we're going to have to see. I want to see them get aggressive with one. I mean, again, there's support ultimates. Maybe Frag gets aggressive with this Flux. I mean, not even close to sound barrier right now.
And yeah, you feel like this Gravitic Flux is free, friend, and there they go. Lifts 2 up, and Spiky Cloud taken out first and smushed into the dirt is Muschette, and now steaming forward is Fragzer. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, and Madbug's going down. I was gonna say you might have a touch here because of that, but with Madbug's going down, there's absolutely no touches. Virtus Pronoun able to cap this first point. They're gonna have 3.5 minutes to try and get it all the way to just over the bridge on this second point. The EIG Assassins still have 3 ultimates to work with here.
Tectonic Shock. Haven't seen a ton of value from it before. Last time they played, they paired it with the Nano Boost, but no Nano Boost right now, but a virus boosting its host. Haywire gets snipped out of the sky. Madbucks will return the favor, however. And Bandit with a Siphon Blaster says it's my time to reign supreme. The virus taking hold. The heavy shots collide onto 2. Again, they find the backline. They're looking for it. The sound barrier has to be put out in response to keep this high ground. They desperately need to hold this defense.
I agree, and we see Mad Bucks able to get that bubble. They're able to get Minty and trade for both the supports on the side of Assassins. Disaster strikes. They have to either find picks or get out quick.
Bandit, it took some time, but they found the quarry they were looking for. The backline dead, and now 2 more fallen for the Assassins. They have to retreat, and all this cart progress, you feel like it's got to be final fight.
I actually think that was a wasted barrage from Soul. You kind of had that fight won. Now you're down another ultimate in this fight, as Assassins will be able to have 2 to use. They get a touch. They lose Madbugs. They get the touch.
Oh, the rally is now utilized from Yurei in response to this Kitsune rush. I like the rally just bullying their way onto the point. How can this Zarya defend? They can't touch! And it will be the Virtus Pronouns Academy to win map 3.
Very impressive showing from Virtus Pronouns. We're able to get that done. Again, I think Madbuck struggling has not been great for Assassins. Madbucks is one of their best players. Hopefully they can turn that around and make this a map 5, but it seems Virtus Pronouns might have taken a stranglehold on this series, and that first point was looking grim. Fragster able to come through with a big flux.
Yeah, massive work, and I like this from Virtus Pronoun, because Hybrid and Escort are my 2 favorite map types, because there's a lot more strategy. You can do different comps, you have to play high ground, like do all this stuff, and Virtus Pro looking very clean with clear goals and clear strategy in mind, just dominant on both of those, offense and defense. We go to our 4th map. I mean, it's either push or flashpoint, both very fluid map types in this.
Yeah, push and flashpoint is going to make things very interesting. I do think those are more centered toward Misery, if I remember correctly, from what Virtus Pronouns have played in the past. But I also think it's going to be map dependent. So I think EIG Assassins, given backs against the wall, they have to win the next 2 maps. This next map pick, they got to make it good, and I've got to make it a good ban as well.
And this might be the time to take out the Venture. You were mentioning at the top of the program, right? It's like, well, this is not necessarily the best Venture map. You can play it, whatever, but I want to wait for the proper time. And now this is it, right? It's do or die for the Assassins. If they lose this, they're out. They get 4th place, and the Virtus Pronouns move on. So, okay, hamstring the Madbucks even more. Make sure they can't get anything done. The amount of deaths that Madbucks has had over the last 3 matches has been insurmountable. It's just too much. This time 9, I think in the previous one 14. This guy is just being picked off time and time again.
Yeah, Madbucks it's been rough going for them ever since map number 1. I mean, they had their pop-off moments on Rialto at given times, but all in all, considering how well Lijiang Tower went for them, VP's done a good job at focusing them, but also it has felt like most of the time, as I mentioned, there's kind of been a little bit of a disconnect. You know, Madbucks has been much further ahead of their team when they're backing out. He's still in, like, I don't know. It feels like it's a 2-way street here. Yes, Madbucks are struggling, but either comms are not right or he's not listening to comms, one or the other. They got to get it fixed. They got 2 maps to try and punch their ticket to losers finals.
Oof. Well, it'll start with either push or flashpoint. Be curious to see which way they go. First Pronouns looking very clean. Fragster looking great coming off the bench. I thought sometimes you get a little bit cold because you've been waiting, you want to play, but very calm, very collected, standing tall in the face of danger. You love to see it. For the flip side of the Assassins, they usually don't have any substitutes that they bring in, so this is the squad that they have to ride or die with. I want to see more from Madbucks. We've highlighted them enough. Starwolf, I want to highlight in a positive manner. Had some great kills, great Kitsune rushes, great cleanses, doing wonderful work on this Kiriko. This may also be a time to take the Kiriko off the board, so there's plenty of opportunities for both of these teams to work with the bans.
We're going to have to see. Again, my gut feeling is we might go in Diamond. I feel like we just don't see push as often unless we go 5.
Sure.
My gut feels like we might be going to Flashpoint. I'm not 100% sure. But again, I don't know. Go ahead. My mind is frazzled right now. This series has been insane.
It's been zapping us because it's been that electric. Well, Flashpoint will be the map, Ray. Let's see what it is. Hippie, pull it up. We will be traveling to Saravasa. That's everybody's favorite Flashpoint. I mean, Ray, what's the strategy here? What does Assassins have to do to level it?
My guess is they're going to go to the Zarya well again. I mean, there's also a possibility they played Junker Queen. Muschetti's played a lot of Junker Queen this season, just not recently, because Junker Queen obviously hasn't been nearly as good in recent patches. But my gut feeling says Zarya. I wonder if they go back to the Reaper well again. And we'll say from what I've seen from codes and games, Misery has been the one to play on this map. So that's an interesting wrinkle. Do they bring back in Misery for VP, or they just ride the momentum they're on with Frag right now?
Well, only time will tell, of course, but let's bring up the picks and bans, because that might also say who stays on the bench and who comes in, depending on who's selected. The Assassins will be the first to ban here. They can't ban the Sigma, but they could go for the Ramatra instead, keep Fragster down, and then make Misery play the dive. We've seen that from them before. I don't think they'll ban the Kiriko just because Starwolf has been lights out on it, but maybe time for the Emery.
Yeah, Emery might be a good shout here, but again, this is also a really good Sojourn map, so I don't know if I'd even waste time banning against Bandit at this point. I'd be looking to go after, like, I probably would have gone Kiri, but Trace is going to be another great shout. This is kind of what Soul likes to play on this map, so especially considering this isn't really a Pharah map. So my guess is Soul might go to the Genji on this map.
Interesting. Okay. I'd like to see it, but they've played that before, right? It was the Genji with the Brig on a backline Rialto defense, so I think they're comfortable with that being forced on the Cybernetic Ninja. Now it's time for the Virtus Pronouns Academy to find their ban. The tank is open. You could take somebody off the board, as you mentioned, the Junker Queen. Maybe we haven't seen Malga even for a inkling today, but I feel like the Kiriko might be the way to go.
I don't know, because VP also really likes their Kiri. Yeah, ban the Lucio kind of makes sense. Yurei, totally comfortable with staying off of the Lucio. So Spiky Cloud now going to be forced to play something else, or they bring in the Lady to play double flex support.
So in terms of Spiky Cloud, I mean, they love Mercy. That's their most played hero. Their favorite hero is Brigitte. Mercy, I don't think will be played. Brigitte, definitely some opportunities, but potentially Kiriko, Juno backline, or do they really mix it up here? Maybe go full on like Zenyatta Baptiste, or what combination will we be seeing?
I think, are you talking about for the side of Assassins? Sorry.
Yeah.
Assassins, if they go double flex, I think it'd be more of like a Kiri Juno angle. Or possibly like a Kiri Moira or somewhere around those lines. I haven't really seen Star or Lady play much of Baptiste, so that would be my gut feeling. You know, maybe throw an Ana for Starwolf at some point. But we do have the substitutions coming in line for these teams, and it looks like Spiky Cloud is staying in, as Misery will come in for Fragster. So that is definitely going to be an interesting thing here. Not that Misery is bad or anything, but it just feels like, you know, Frag's got 2 wins in a row. Maybe you would have kept that going, especially since Ram's really good on this map, if they bring in Misery.
Okay, so Dive is the potential outcome for the Virtus Pronouns to put the nail in the coffin and punch their ticket to the lower bracket finals. The Assassins, with a hill to climb, 2 map wins, will have them go to the lower bracket finals, but we will head to Saravasa to potentially settle it. This is going to be an exciting match, folks. Get your snacks, get your drinks, and hold on tight as we dive on in.
VP win this map. They're in the losers finals to take on Zebras. Assassins trying to force a map number 5. As you see for the side of Virtus Pronouns, Misery coming in for the Winston. No shockers here. This is what we expect. The EIG Assassins going back to the well on the Hazard. They will have that available for the rest of the series, and Muschetti has looked really good on it. Kiri Brig for the side of Assassins to Spiky Cloud. That's the direction they're going. Both sides going with the Kiri Lucio, or Kiri Brig, I mean.
Interesting. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're brawling, you're punching each other on these points, an exchange of blows constantly on the board on flashpoints. But it is the Onron. We've seen Haywire. I've seen Haywire play this character every once in a while. It surprised me the first time. It will not catch me off guard again, but will it catch the Virtus Pro Academy off guard? We will see. Misery looking for a way into this, but some burning, fanning flames being tossed their way.
Yeah, man, I don't know about this on run. We'll see how it goes. But Muschetti jostling for positions, but taking a lot of pressure from the Reaper. But the fade was forced early.
Is certainly, and now opening up the kill feed is Bandit from range, corralled into a corner are the Assassins, and they're just being taken down one by one. Misery doing it to them, shedding tears along the way.
Yeah, again, I'm just again, it just feels like everyone's just all in so many different places. Haywire going to go over to the Reaper now. We saw this change from them on Lijiang Tower to deal with the Winston. And we saw that get really good effects. Spiky Cloud now going to go over to the Juno. So we'll have to see if these changes are going to positively affect anything. I think the Reaper's going to be good to put pressure on the Misery.
I like that, but I feel like the Brig is kind of good too, right? But unless they feel like they just need more speed to get around the map and get into tricky situations, but they find themselves in a sticky one as they are once again shoved into a locker. It's Bandit with the overclock. How does this guy get the ultimate so damn quickly? However, the percentages continue to accrue as the bodies continue to fall, but in the midst of it all, it will go the way of the Assassins, but only just for now.
As Mad Buck's still on this point, Haywire still on this point. As the Reaper, shoot the monkey, what are you doing? Is the Kiri trying to get away? Is Starwolf able to get away? Mushetti's going to use that downpour as players are coming back.
Wow, the forecast didn't call for jagged spikes, but it looks like the hazard will bring it anyway. Back onto the point now goes Misery, eyeing up their opposite number. They have to take down this hazard, who's just so beefy on the point. No Death Blossom for the side of Haywire, but death is certainly there. The Dire Triggers will get the headshot. Now the Blossom may bloom for the side of Soul, but he may not even need it as the members are just being slain one by one. They give up control of the point, and they give up control of that sub.
Yeah, that rally coming online for Ure sealed the deal. Very well done from Virtus Pronouns. They're looking to get more staggers, and I don't blame them. I mean, if you're the side of EIG Assassins, get out of there, position yourself, and regroup with your team. You cannot afford to continue to drop numbers.
And this is a precarious position indeed, as many ultimates on the board for Virtus Pronouns. You feel like just one good Death Blossom and everybody's dead, right? But a Tectonic Shock of epic proportions could be on the menu. First onto the point, however, will be the Virtus Pronouns.
Yeah, Soul doesn't have that Wraith, but able to hold on long enough and get Spiky Cloud Tectonic Shock online, but not able to find anyone so far. As the Death Blossom finds one, looking for more.
The Beyblade certainly let rip, and tearing through the souls is Soul as he finds multiple kills, but Haywire trying to clap back with their own Death Blossom. No Dire Triggers available, but maybe have the shots now. It goes wide. Haywire desperately needed the kill, can't find it. The point will go the way to Virtus Pronouns, but still, we continue to fight. Mad Buck's doing some mad crazy things. All right, get out of there, buddy.
Orbital Ray gonna get thrown on the point now, which should be enough pressure to get everyone down. Misery gonna pop the Primal.
And they have to, and this is a good time to get some environmental kills, of course, but a straight up kill in the neutral will be Soul, finding his opposite number once again. He is just charging forward. They know it's free pickings for the Reaper. Oh, from range, they pick off Starwolf. That is just massive work from the Reaper.
60% and counting Virtus Pronouns. They're just coming up on so many key ultimates as well. I feel like this Kitsune Rush has been held for a long time as well. They just haven't found a position to use it. Bandit Overclock has been fantastic with them. I feel like I'm feeling magic again from Bandit.
See if they can pull the rabbit out of the hat. The overclock available for them, but a desperation station here for the Assassin. They lay down the Kitsune Rush. They have to get the Fox Spear to guide them, and it only guide Muschetti to the grave. Once more, the rally keeping everybody alive. Bandit uses the overclock, but to no effect as Mad Bucks will steal him away. Another Death Blossom twirls on the battlefield. The Dire Triggers from range. Immaculate work from the Reaper, and as the overtime wick goes down, but point number 2, the way of Virtus Pronouns.
And now Assassins are in a position where they got to reverse sweep Suravasa, and they have to win the final map as well. Ultimate amount of pressure now on their backs, but they will have the ult economy advantage for this next fight. Has the Tectonic Shock, have the Death Blossom. They got to get something going in their favor.
Pressure certainly makes diamonds red, and we will see if the Assassins can slink out of the shadows and shine. They're looking for a way into this, and Bandit has to be the one taken down first. The amount of damage that has been offloaded from the Sojourn cannot be understated, but diving into the backline is the Winston, burrowing underground to dodge the little zappy zap. Goes the Venture, the Tectonic Shock, but might not have the health to even go for it. Squished into the dirt once more by Misery. This tank player doing God's work out here on the battlefield. The Beyblade ripped once more. The Death Blossom will strike down the Winston, but immediate clapback revenge for the main tank is cold and served swiftly. Still, the battle range is onward, Ray, and through the midst of it all, it will go to the side of the Assassins to cap it first.
Yeah, but they still have 3 players, and they get Mad Bucks, and that's going to now be the point flip. Virtus Pronouns played that extremely patiently, and now look at this, 4 ultimates coming online as now we have a pause.
Oh my!
Pauses, huh?
The tension is palpable. I just almost fell. If I was sitting, I'd almost fall out of my chair, Ray. Like, that was like, what? Oh, it got me so good. It looks like Mad Bucks has left the server, needs to rejoin. But speaking of Mad Bucks, I heard a Tectonic Shock being leveraged through that fight, but not getting any kills. You feel like they needed to hold on to it.
Yeah, there's a strong possibility. I wasn't sure if that was before or after the Death Blossom, but unfortunately they were not able to get it done, and now their ult economy is in shambles. I mean, looking at the screen right now, they have coming up an Annihilation soon and an Orbital Ray, but they're walking into they're walking into the Primal, they're walking into a Rally, they're walking into a Kitsune Rush and Overclock. So it is going to be very hard for them to get into this point. And I'd be just trying to re-engage pretty quickly and just try and force out as many ults from VP as possible with as little ult usage for myself as possible.
The strategy is clear, but the execution seems almost insurmountable, like something that can't be done, but they have to do it, the Assassins, if they want to stay in this match. I really like the Primal Rage here. There's so many opportunities for environmental kills, all those little gaps and off the map and what have you, and Misery has done incredibly well thus far on the Winston. I feel like this Orbital Ray has to be galactic, right? It's got to be the best Orbital Ray we've ever seen if the Assassins want to even stand a chance in this next fight.
Totally agree with you. And I mean, last time they were able to get people off the point, but then they just re-engaged, kept the point, and somehow won that fight. So Orbital Ray is supposed to be one of those just you click it, you win the fight ult, and it just didn't happen last time for the side of EIG Assassins. So I'd be a little worried about that.
For sure. I'm also worried about this Haywire Soul matchup. It seems like Soul's been getting the better of the Reaper player for the Assassins time and time again.
100%.
Haywire, you gotta step up here, buddy. They need you. They need you now. We can't just keep highlighting Mad Bucks. We want to call your name in the positive light. Some good Death Blossoms, but I need some neutral kills for you to get the work done.
Excuse me, as again, folks, we are working through a disconnect from Mad Bucks. We'll get you guys right back into the action as soon as possible. But I guess while we're here, we can recap the series. This has been crazy back and forth. Map number 1, Lijiang Tower, VP's pick. Assassins able to win that out narrowly with the hazard composition, looked really good. Then we came into map number 2. It was the Battle of Sig and Battle of Rams, back and forth. A little bit of hazard thrown in there from the Assassins. But VP able to narrowly win that as well. Map number 2, much more of a dominating effort. Good first point hold, all things considered, from Assassins, but VP able to get that done once they cap first point. And now here we're on Saravasa, 2-0 up, and VP has control of this third flashpoint, looking to punch their ticket into the losers finals.
Certainly has been a tug of war through each and every map, but now you feel like Virtus Pronouns, they're ground in, their weight shifted, and they are going for that one final tug all the way over the finish line. It looks like Mad Bucks has re-entered the server here, Ray. I want to talk into the future, though, my friend. I mean, the next up is the Zebras. I mean, I think with the way Virtus Pro's been playing, you said this is the revenge series right after forfeiting in the upper bracket. I think I like that.
It was 2 Zebras
matchup.
they had to forfeit as well.
Okay. The script has been written. Head Rammer and Hippie, they already said what's going to happen, and we'll see if Virtus Pro can make it so.
It's going to be an interesting one. They have the ult economy to be able to continue to hold this point as long as they don't just like invest like 4 ults here. I think they should be able to easily cruise to a 3-0 victory on Siravasa.
They certainly do. All the check marks lighting up for the Virtus pronouns, and so too are their smiles as they have the victory in the bag. But what misery blown up immediately in this fight. Now rallying to me, says your AI will be the tank now as they bash their way forward. Will they send Mad Bucks over the edge? No, they will survive with the drill dash just for now, but Muschette cannot say the same. Bandit will slay them in cold blood. And holding on to the point will be the Virtus Pro Academy for now, but it has to be Mad Bucks to get something done. He pushes everybody in the corner, but says, you're locked in here with me, friend. Misery, the revenge.
I think that might be, I mean, you're going to maybe have a touch here for EIG. They have the good whip shot coming in from your Ray, and I think that is all she wrote. We're going to see some ultimates coming online for Muschette's. The Annihilation gets popped, but it feels too little, too late. The Primal Rage coming out. The Kitsune rushes back and forth. Minty able to find 2, and Virtus Pronouns is finding all of the goods. They are going to win this series 3-1 and move on to face Zebras in the losers finals.
So they Virtus Pro Academy, they took one haymaker in map 1 and that knocked the lights into them, and they said, wait a second, we nasty, and they came back to win 3 in emphatic fashion. And that will be it for this lower bracket semifinals. Virtus Pronouns have a date with Destiny, a rematch for the Zebras in their future.
Yeah, and that's going to be really interesting because we had the picking stream about 3 weeks ago when playoffs first started.
Yeah.
And in week 7, they had a 5-map banger series with Zebras, and they said after that matchup, when they were in the picking stream, we don't want to touch Zebras with a 20-foot pole because Zebras play a lot of weird compositions, a lot of weird things, and it was kind of hard to deal with. So now they're going to have to face that down, but they're feeling like they want revenge because they didn't like having to forfeit.
Yeah, and so couldn't have a better script written, as we mentioned earlier. Well, let's take a look at the scoreboard and see how this one really panned out. We were talking about the Soul versus Haywire matchup, and look at this. I mean, the damage numbers kind of similar, but the eliminations just miles apart.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, just a dominating map from the side of VP.
Huge stuff from them, of course. Now, folks, we'll have a couple replays, and as we talk through those, at CGL, we're known for doing our player interviews, and we will have 2 for you. We'll have an exit interview for the side of EIG Assassins, and we'll have a winner's interview with the Virtus Pro Pronouns Academy. So, of course, you want to stick around from that, but I got to thank Hippie, our producer here today, for capturing all of these replays, just working overtime for us to bring you such an electrifying series. I got to applaud our back end folks. Just doing a wonderful job here tonight. Welcome back, CGL fans. It's HD Philly B and Tried Hard Ray, and you just witnessed a wonderful series between Virtus Pronouns Academy and the EIG Assassins in that lower bracket semifinals. We had an elimination, unfortunately, but we have our winner, and this will be Minty from the Virtus Pronouns Academy, my new best friends. We just discovered we both went to the University of Delaware. And Minty, we have a couple questions for you. My first one is, how does it feel to get that win?
It feels really, really good. I know we were expecting to have a little moment, and we were trying to get a 3-0, but after first map I was kind of happy that our mental and stuff wasn't down, so I'm kind of happy we brought it back.
For sure.
Yeah, I was going to build on that a little bit, because a lot of your team throwing a lot of big words saying this is going to be GG easy 3-0. So how did it feel when they came out and took that first map? Obviously you said mental stayed good, but was that a big shock to you guys?
It was a little bit of a big shock. I think I knew that it wasn't gonna be an easy fight. I know that they were obviously gonna put up a really good fight, but I was expecting for us to make a good comeback for it.
Gotcha. And then obviously next up you guys got the Zebras. Had a crazy 5-map series with them back in week 7.
Mm-hmm.
Soul told me many times he didn't want to touch that team with a 20-foot pole, but they seem to be relatively reinvigorated after the forfeit. How do you guys feel having to face them and their chaoticness? I just faced them on Friday and I did not like it, but we were able to win. So how are you guys feeling?
I think we're a little bit excited. I think we need to I don't know what the word is. I guess be pumped up or get really ready for this, especially with how we played today. Yeah, basically. But yeah.
Fair enough. Well, Minty, I've got one more question for you, and this is, you're one of the main supports for your squad. What's your favorite part of playing the support role?
Oh my gosh. I guess oh gosh. I guess just playing Kiriko. She's really fun. I I play her 24/7. That people call me a one trick on her. So it's it's really fun where I can just do my own thing, and I can also DPS on the side too. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit less pressuring than DPS or tank, so I don't have to face tank everyone. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun with it, Minty. That's what it's all about right here at the CGL and just playing Overwatch in general. Our final thing is, while we have you on stream, who would you like to shout out?
I would obviously love to shout out my Virtus Pronouns teammates. I love all of them. I'm glad that we played as much as we did, or how we came out today. I would also like to shout out my collegiate teammates that are watching from home, friends and family, and that's all.
Well, all right. Well, congratulations on the win, Minty, and good luck in the lower bracket finals.
Thank you.
Well, Ray, as one member exits, another one will rise, and we have EIG Assassins. It will be the DPS player Haywire for their exit interview. Haywire, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
It was a great series. How are you guys feeling despite the loss?
So we knew going into this that we were looked as the underdogs here, so we've been constantly fighting, doing scrims, trying to work on things, and we knew overall that this just shows us what we still need to work on, and that's where we're at right now, at least.
Well, you put up one hell of a fight. That was an entertaining bout, to say the least. Just some reflection things, what was one of your favorite moments of Season 17?
Definitely, it's just the start to now. So the start, it was rough because we were a bunch of new players coming in, a lot of us not knowing each other, some of us coming back, but it's every season you can sometimes run into having brand new players and not understanding how play styles are, communication, everything like that. So I am very proud to say where the team has come as a whole, just with our communication and teamwork and just how fun the season was.
Yeah, for me, my big question is, now that the season's over, obviously you guys haven't had time to reflect upon it yet, but big picture, you guys got 4th place. Did you guys meet expectations? Were you hoping to do a little bit better? How do you look at the season right now?
So definitely, we started the season with a few different players. Some players had to leave due to unfortunate circumstances, personal lives matter, so we had to bring in some other players and just kind of work around that and understand that we had some players that only had very specific one or two heroes they played, so we had to find a way to build around that and work with that. So I do think that going on to the future, we're going to just take what we did here, make sure we make mental notes of that, review, and go back next season even harder and go for that gold and go for first place is the overall goal.
I was gonna say, I guess that answers my next question. Do we plan to see EIG Assassins in season 18 of CGL?
There's a possibility. There's talks about it. We are still deciding what we want to do because again, we're going to be potentially doing trials again, finding some new players, finding some new talent, and just seeing what works best for us now and going forward with that.
Excellent. Well, we love to hear it, Haywire, and thank you so much for your time and effort this season to you and all your teammates. While we have you on stream, is there somebody you want to shout out?
Nah, just Lady, Funnels, the whole team, Dan, they all put their all into the season, Matt. All the team deserved as far as we got. We fought, we did it. We did it as a team, and we should be proud of ourselves no matter where you end up.
That's exactly what I love to hear. That growth mindset is amazing. Well, Haywire, thank you so much. Congratulations, and good luck, and hopefully we'll see you in Season 18.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night.
Bye. Whew. Well, Ray, we certainly did it. Sweat wiped from the brow. That was a crazy series, and we have our schedule of all of today's matches because there's been wild stuff all throughout the CGL.
Yeah, as the Latin America Grand Finals, Agave Garfo able to take the victory 4-2 over Astrum. Great series, and as you guys saw today, Virtus Pronouns winning 3-1 over EIG Assassins. They have themselves a ticket into the losers finals, and they will be facing Zebras. So very excited to see as we're coming up to our final week and a half or so of CGO. Basically, we're just down to losers finals and grand finals. It's very exciting stuff.
So folks, you know what you need to do. You need to subscribe. You need to follow the Twitch channel. You need to join the Discord. You need to do whatever you can to make sure you don't miss a minute of this CGL Season 17 playoff action. From HD Philly B, Tryhard Ray, Hippie, and Mara in the back, we thank you so much. Have a great night.